Welcome to your daily dose of Sunday School, episode 49. We continue with Greg Bonson's Always Ready, looking at chapter 2, the immorality of neutrality. So, got a lot of scriptures to look at here, but the essence of the argument he's making in this chapter is that, if Christ has set us apart from the world, we've got Christ attempting to set aside our allegiance to him in order to participate in scholarship or learning, and trying to do that in a way that's not distinctively Christian, will automatically reject our sanctification, reject God setting us apart, it's immoral. He used the term culpable agnosticism. So the world is not innocent in its rejection of Christ. It is guilty, so culpable, it's guilty. And so he used the term culpable agnosticism. We should not imitate the world. We shouldn't be afraid to confess Christ in all we do. So let's look at a few of these. The big one, I think, Ephesians 4:17 and 18. Now this I say and testify in the Lord, that you must no longer walk as the Gentiles do, in the futility of their minds. They are darkened in their understanding, alienated from the life of God, because of the ignorance that is in them, due to their hardness of heart. So, I think this gets back to what we see in the Psalms. Psalm 119 makes this statement that that I'm wiser than all my teachers because I meditate on your word. And while that doesn't mean we can't learn from unbelievers, but we should understand that when it comes to the most important things in the universe, they are darkened in their understanding, alienated from the life of God. Which, if you ever wondered how so many smart people can just jump into nonsense. They're suddenly Elizabeth Warren, who is an extremely intelligent woman, can be doesn't know what a man and a woman is anymore. Because she's, darkened in her understanding, so she's willing to throw all sense out the window. I would say it relates to this, that darkness that is related to their sinful desires, right? If you're slave to sin, it keeps you from being able to see the world rightly. And so you are liable to be duped by all sorts of errors. Ephesians 4, moving on a little further, 22 and 23 talks about us. And it says, we've been taught in the truth in Christ Jesus to put off your old self, which belongs to your former manner of life and is corrupt through deceitful desires, and to be renewed in the spirit of your minds, and to put on the new self, created after the likeness of God, in true righteousness and holiness. So we've been illuminated, we've been given light, we've been given a new self, and so whatever we do, we want to walk in that. We don't want to say, well, I will study this objectively. Well, that's that culpable agnosticism. Whatever we study, whatever we learn, whatever we work towards, we want to do it as a Christian. So we talked about yesterday how we've been set apart by Christ. Well, we don't want to act like we haven't been set apart and that we're in some neutral territory. There is no neutrality. James 4:4. You adulterous people, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? So we want to. A lot of times, why do Christians want to compromise? It's because they feel like they cannot get ahead in the world if they can't communicate in this neutral realm and that supposedly exists and appeal to unbelievers. And I do think it requires more faith to realize, okay, I'm going to be Christian in what I do and not pretend that I see value in stuff that's nonsense. That kind of requires you to be patient and allow God to promote you instead of striving after the approval of people who are darkened in their understanding. Work for God and not for man.